Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. If you can hear me, we are going to go live in about 5 minutes here. We are live now, but I'm going to start the meeting, but we'll let people in a little bit early. Make sure everybody can get set up. If you can hear me, post a 1. I'm just going to check a couple things on my end. All right, so I believe we are live on YouTube. And all right. So Facebook user. All good, all good. So for those of you on Facebook, at some point, if you sign in through StreamYard, I'll be able to see your names. Unfortunately, I cannot see your name just yet. It's all good. If you have a question, I can definitely still answer your questions. All right. So we've got 2 people on YouTube, 6 people on Facebook. What's up? What's up? If anybody wants to hop into, if you have a camera and a mic, I'll post the link right here. You can actually hop into StreamYard. And on StreamYard, I'll be able to kind of bring you guys up what they call on stage. They'll be able to feature you, be able to talk side by side with you. We're also going to use this to create some content. So if we have like a quick, 5-minute conversation about something, we'll be able to take that as a clip and potentially repost it. If you're in the clip, or even if you're not in the clip, if you wanted to repost it on your social media, you have the ability to do so. But let me see if I can hop on. I'm going to hop on Facebook on my end, and that way I can see who is commenting. I'll get started in about 2 minutes. All right, John. Yeah, what's up, Bo? What's up, Johnny? All right, good. Dana can hear us. Melissa's away. Enjoy vacation. Josh Schwartz, what's up, dude? Tom McNeil in the house saying hello. What's up, Tom? How we doing? Wade Do, what's up, brother? How we doing, Wade? What I'll do is I'll put my laptop here so I can see everybody's names. Sherry Paglione, what's up, girl? Was just talking to Motion City Nick about you. Gabrielle Lisi, what's up? What's up? How we doing? Hope everybody had a great week. Rich Davidson in the house. What's going on, Rich? Yeah, Nick is awesome. We'll actually probably have him as a guest at one point here. All right, guys. So it's 3:00. So we are going to get started. I'm looking forward to doing this with you guys. It's going to be a weekly live stream, and it'll be something that'll really be catered towards what you guys are looking for and what you guys need. So I'm really looking forward to getting your feedback kind of as a group as far as what kind of information, you're looking for. If we were looking to, whether it's marketing or advertising, having trouble negotiating a deal, things like that. Those are all things that I want to be able to troubleshoot with you guys and help you through. And if we can do that live, and it'll be a way for everybody else, to kind of learn at the same time. Also, we're going to be covering things as far as the market goes, just some data stuff, give you guys some talking points. So when you're talking to buyers or sellers, potential clients, or if you're just looking to kind of curate some social media posts, you have a better idea as far as like what's happening and get some feedback. And we're going to kind of do that together as a group. I think I experienced the market in a different way, possibly as, against what other agents do. I mean, I talked to some agents and they say they're slow. Some agents say they're busy. So it's a good way to kind of come together as a group and be able to gather feedback and get a better pulse on what's happening in the market. So we'll do some market talk, weekly. What's up, Heather? How we doing? And so we're going to get started right away. We're going to jump right into some data. I want to go over the numbers. So these numbers come out monthly, but it takes a while to kind of get that data together. So we'll go over first Ocean County. So here's the numbers for November. December's numbers are not in yet, but as you could see, let me zoom in because I can barely see. All right, that's better. The number of new listings, guys, against last year is down. So that's a pretty good metric when you're trying to get an understanding of what's going to happen with the market moving forward. Low inventory, obviously, is good for supply and demand. Oversupply, usually means that the market has a potential to trend down. It doesn't necessarily mean it will. It just really depends on how many people are looking, so supply and demand. What is the demand versus what is the supply? Closed sales, as you can see, were way down, 16%. So down more than the amount of listings coming on, so that shows you pretty much in November, the amount of demand, was down against the actual new supply coming onto the market. But what you'll see that's even more interesting is that still doesn't help the supply of inventory. So the absorption ratio is something that we've talked about in the past. Month's supply of inventory is that it's an absorption ratio. So 2.7. So that means if every buyer that was in the market went and found a house at this current rate, it would take 2.7 months for the market to completely clear out. The metric that we've always used in the past is a healthy market's around 5 to 6 months supply of inventory, and we're at 2.7, which is about half that. So again, this is Ocean County numbers. We're going to go over Monmouth County numbers as well. We have townhouse, condo, adult community here too. Those numbers tend to fluctuate. I like to key in on single family since that is the actual majority of the market. Depending on what town, some towns such as Berkeley, where you have Holiday City and Silverton, you could see these numbers actually be different. You can actually do a report breaking down based by town what these numbers are. So as you can see, the adult community numbers here, you're seeing new listings down 10%, closed sales down only 2%, but the month's supply of inventory is actually stable at 0%. So you can see like that's actually the absorption ratio is lower, but it's kind of a stagnant market. And again, this is overall. This is including all of Ocean County, which means Barnegat, Stafford, Brick, where you see some other adult community homes. But if you're looking to take a listing in a bigger community, again, such as Holiday City, you want to make sure to break those numbers down on Berkeley. And I could show you guys how to do that later on. All right, we're going to go into the Monmouth numbers. So Monmouth numbers, new listings actually up 5.5%. We see closed sales are down 18.2%. So that's a really big jump, bigger the jump than Ocean County. Median sales price is up 7.7%. So you still see prices for November year over year are up. We saw really a lull last year. If you can remember back, obviously the interest rates really took into effect really where it hurt the market June, July, and then it really started making an impact August, September, and October. That became a really kind of a slow time last year. So, as you can see, compared to last year during that time where the rates really were starting to make an impact, you could see the differential that didn't really affect the pricing. List to price ratio is up, so 2%. So you still got houses selling for over market, even though the increase in prices are up. And then the months of supply actually it went down too in Monmouth as well. And the inventory of homes for sale is down big time, 31%. So again, as we move forward into December, I mean, I know it was pretty busy as far as closings go. I can't wait to see what the numbers are, for new listing and closed sales. I'd imagine that we're going to see in January coming up, new listings are going to be way higher than 2022 as well. And the reason being is obviously now people are coming off the sidelines, coming off the bench. And, that's one thing you guys need to take into consideration is like everybody that you talked to last year that had a good reason to purchase or sell, but decided not to because of the rates. We need to make sure that, they have a game plan for 2024 because the rates are obviously coming down. So like, let's take the time and have those discussions, see if it's something that's on the horizon for 2024, and let's help the people do the math. Let's take into consideration, like, yes, you waited from last year. Now your house price maybe in Monmouth County went up $50,000 over last year, but now the interest rates came down 1.5. So what does that mean? If you're buying something, if you're selling something for 7 and you're buying something for 9, and now the interest rate's only 6.5%, is that something that makes sense to you? And if it does, okay, here's the inventory for 900. Is there anything else out there that you like? And you have to kind of reintroduce these ideas to your clients. That's the benefit of being a real savvy, agent, a real estate agent. Not just sitting back taking orders from your buyers or from your sellers. You actually have to deliver on data, and you have to actually give them, I'd say a push to kind of where things are at, right? Because they're going out about their day to day. They have their work life, they have their family life, they're busy, right? They're not going to sit down and just, think like, oh, let me check the rates right now and let me check what the payment would be on that and let me guess what my house price is. It's obviously there, all this data is readily available, but we need to be armed with it. And, we need to know kind of who are the hot clients. And again, I think the people that you spoke with last year, they're the next ones up. That maybe they didn't make the decision for one reason or another, but I think it's going to happen a lot for those clients that kind of just were waiting. Next thing we'll go over real quick is mortgage rates. So as you can see, 30-year fixed, we're under 7%. I'm sure most of you guys know it, but this is something we're going to talk about weekly just so we can have a barometer and be able to track where things are going. FHA rate, obviously, is very good. PBA rates, I'm not sure where they're at. I'll try to get that data for next week. That's something that obviously doesn't affect, a ton of people. But, the key is really understanding kind of what these rates are and doing the math and figuring out, what if you were to list a house, what the impact is right now because of these interest rates being a percentage point lower. You've got to do the market research, as far as new houses coming on the market. I think, you could push the limit a little bit. If somebody wanted to list a little bit higher, and if there's, low supply in your market, I think you can inch up on the price a little bit. Last year wasn't really a time, I think, to mess with prices and to push the limits. But, I feel like this year there's going to be some trial and error, right? Or, if you decide to push the limit on something, just give the caveat of, hey, let's try it out for 2 weeks. We'll get the feedback on the market. If we don't have 10 showings, we know that we're probably priced a little bit high. And then you can make a readjustment from there. I think the market doesn't really care if you drop a price on a house. Nobody's saying, oh, that house is overpriced, and because they did a price drop, nobody's going to want it. I mean, the supply is obviously still low, as you guys just saw. We're looking at anywhere from 2 to 3 months of supply on the market right now. But I do feel you guys should place an emphasis on getting onto the market before spring and summer if that person really wants to make a move. I had a conversation with one of our agents the other day, and she was thinking about possibly waiting to sell a personal property of her own until the spring. And I just think the net benefit, yeah, you might be able to make a couple bucks more in the spring, but who knows what's going to happen, right? Obviously, 2023 was a standard year, nothing crazy. Obviously, sales were down. I know a lot of agents are, down volume wise. But 2024, we should see sales rise as far as volume goes, and as far as where price point is, at least in New Jersey. If you're looking in other markets, it could be different. So when people are hearing national news about, hey, the market's down or prices are down or anything like that, you got to be able to dig in and be able to kind of give the client, seller, buyer, whoever it may be, some context. And it could be, well, yeah, because, Florida and Texas, there's a lot of inventory. There's been a lot of new construction. So there's a lot of oversupply or saturation in certain markets. It's not in every market. Those areas where maybe the town is just growing and, they have a 500 home subdivision. We really don't see that here in New Jersey. We see, 15 lot subdivisions, 20 lot subdivisions, so that's not something that in our markets, we're going to see that have a downward effect on pricing for a community. So it's understanding that, is a huge driver for market pricing. As far as, this group, I want the Monday meetings also here to not just be data, not just to be context, not to be just about, having guests on and stuff like that. I want us to, as kind of a community of Remax Revolution, be able to help each other do more deals together, and I think that's really something that I think can boost you, as an agent in this market, is knowing, number one, what off-market opportunities are available. If anybody has a listing that's coming up, over the next week or month, and you're able to kind of market it, right? That you're going to get it, whether it's you post-dated a listing agreement or, you maybe trust the agents in the office to not mess with your listings. Obviously, if you're sharing that information here, we'll make sure that, nobody in the office can try to do anything with that client or do anything with that seller. I know that's one caveat. I've always trusted everybody here, in the office. So I've never held back on a listing unless I knew that maybe that listing I wasn't going to, be able to get. Maybe it's something where they're interviewing other agents and they haven't told me just yet, that I secured the listing. But being able to kind of dual disclose properties within the office is great. That's something that we used to do as a group back in the day, just by being in the office and talking to each other. Now, I understand we can't have everybody in the office at the same time talking about, new listings coming up. It doesn't happen as often as it used to when we were in the wall office. Because again, we have multiple different offices. We have agents that cover different offices, but also work in different territories. So if we can bring some of that synergy, to these weekly meetings, and that could be just, hey, you're posting your hot buyers, in the chat, whether it's on, you're on Facebook here, just post what you're looking for. You could have somebody that's live here right now that has something that's coming up. That's something where does it make sense to post it in the Facebook group? Absolutely. If you have somebody that that is hot and heavy, looking to buy something, and for whatever reason you've exhausted all options that are on the market, feel free to post it on the agents and staff page. That's something where maybe we can do like a weekly thread or something, so it doesn't become littered with just those posts, because I want to also be able to navigate through that page, and people not to ignore the page too. So if anybody has any thoughts or questions on that, let me know. But we need to have more communication as an office to try to do more deals together, because I feel like it's just way easier to do deals with you guys in the office. You obviously know how our transaction coordinators work. I have a good understanding that if you tell me that you have a hot buyer and that, they're solid, that, it's actually the truth. Whereas when you have these other agents from other companies and outside offices, I mean, I don't know, you're taking a guess, if you can trust them or not. But I think our reputation, within our office, it's something that's first and foremost, right? So, we got to make sure that if we're presenting a situation where, it's a pre-approved buyer. It's a good person, right? It's not a person that, don't tell me you got a hot buyer and they've bailed out on 3 previous deals because the buyer's, not cool, right? I don't want to use too strong words, but everybody knows what kind of a buyer that is, right? They just make things complicated. They're just killing deals for no reason or for whatever the case may be. Maybe they're just not on the same page. To me, that is not a hot buyer. That is a buyer that's wishy-washy, and you don't want to present that as a hot buyer. A hot buyer is somebody that's out on the market, ready to go. They've either made an offer or they were close to making an offer on a property. They've narrowed in on exactly what they want, and it just comes down to maybe something hitting the market that is actually relevant, right? Not something that's like, oh, they want like 15 acres in Bayville, right? Like that's something that's truly unique, right? But if they wanted something in the subdivision, let's say Sylvan Lakes, they want a split level house that's nicely renovated for 450, right? That's something that should be easy to find, but it just has to hit the market. So if we're communicating with each other as an office, hey, split level coming up, Sylvan Lake 450, should be ready to go in a week or two. Maybe we can get our buyers in, before it technically hits the market, or however Tommy wants us to do it, whether it's on the same day. You can have your buyer ready to go, but you can obviously list it exclusively for a week. And get our in-office clients in. So something to take into consideration. What I want to do too is really cover things that, again, you guys want to cover, stuff that's timely. If you guys want to go into more training, things, whether it's, hey, we're going to learn how to do market analysis, we're going to learn how to do listing agreements, or listen presentations, things like that. We're going to learn more about videography and photography or social media. I want your feedback on where we're going to take these meetings, because again, it's one thing if we're doing this weekly for me to just get up every week and then just talk or come up or guess what you guys want to hear about. It's going to come down to the people that are actually here and that are live and that are participating. What do you guys want to know about? What's holding you back? Why aren't you doing more deals? What systems do you need to learn about in order to be more productive? These are all things that, myself and Tom and Abe, we have all this knowledge, and it comes down to, delivering in a way where you guys maybe can, adopt it a lot easier. Whether it's breaking things down as far as, how it works, right? Because we can say, you're just going to, make cold calls and you're going to use the Red X system, and, you're going to just call these kinds of leads, right? That sounds like, all right, yeah, no, I understand that, or understand how to do that. The technical aspect of actually doing it, do you want to do a Zoom where we're actually showing somebody from the office making live calls? Maybe myself, maybe Abram, Bill Feehan makes live calls, cold calls pretty much every day. And he does it here from the office. So I think what we need to do really is key in on, some of the things that are working for agents in the office. We can highlight, some of these top agents in the office. And, I think if you want to share, what you're doing and how your success has been, whether it's within the agency or working with a specific client, I want to be able to highlight you guys in these meetings as well. So for example, I'd love to do a one-on-one with Kim Bell. I'd love to do something with Kyle Marcel. So they've got deal flow. They've got investors that are actually giving them recurring business. If we can get more of those clients working with the agency, you guys will pretty much go on autopilot, with your business. Obviously, a lot of people know that we do a lot of new construction. So me and Abram have like a system where we have a lot of new construction builds coming online. That's pretty much on autopilot. That's anywhere between 20 to 30 listings every single year that just come in. You don't necessarily have to market and advertise to get that business. You have to do a really good job retaining that business, doing a ton of marketing, advertising, spending a lot of money to retain it. But it's not like you're out there going on listing appointments to, go get that business again over and over and over again. Past clients is something else too that could help and become cyclical business. That's something that we've talked about a lot. So, using Brian Buffini systems and, doing the past client events. I know we talk about that all the time, but it's all things to kind of get your business cyclical. So that way you can plan and start the year and say, all right, if I do A, B, and C, I know I can knock out 15 deals, and then the rest I'm going to have to innovate, maybe recreate myself, maybe go on some more listing appointments and making more phone calls or, doing more advertising, doing more social media, all those different things, which we'll cover too. But another thing that you guys can do is if you know an agent in the office, again, that is doing more business and that's cyclical business, you could actually come to us and bring us inventory. So if anybody has investment properties that are not on the market, you can go to obviously Kyle or Kim if it's Adult Community. You can go to James or Tyler. They are doing fix and flips. Emily Jackson also has done fix and flips in the office. I mean, if anybody else wants to do fix and flips, like let's create a list. If anybody wants to do wholesale deals or anybody in the office, wants to do investment properties, let's get a list together of who's doing what. And then what we can do is some of the agents in the office that have some more time, you guys can focus your calls with a buyer in mind, and it could be either an agent in the office or it could be an agent in the office with an investor who will act quickly and make a serious offer. If you have the time to try to find some off-market land, obviously we have a lot of different builders in the office. Magdalena Score's husband is a builder. We have Area Properties, obviously, they're building. We have, I forget the guy's name, but Bill Feehan and Patricia Florkowski have a builder that they work with in the Manasquan area. So if you guys have time and if you want to try to find off-market land and you can secure a price, that's something where you can easily bring that land or that opportunity, and you could actually shoot it out to everybody at the same time. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to send it direct to me, and it can go up to obviously highest bid, right? And it doesn't have to be on the market. You could actually do a deal with these off-market properties pretty easily. And that's why it goes back to figuring out and having a hot buyers list as well. So if there's expireds or cancels that are out there, don't assume just because it was expired or canceled that the hot buyers that are being represented by agents in this office didn't know about that property. Maybe they weren't looking in that town at that time. If you can get that seller on the line and maybe get a price and some kind of commitment, and one of the agents in the office, might be looking or have a buyer that's looking in that area, that's just a way you could do some off-market business. And it doesn't mean you have to 100% secure the listing. I want you to secure the terms. You got to figure out a price. You got to figure out a commission ratio, so that way you can convey that information to the other agent. But again, it comes down to, are you willing to have some more conversations? If you don't want to make cold calls, maybe you're sending out mailers. We can obviously teach you how to do that. It's not very hard. We have a marketing team that can assist with it. It really just comes down to like, how much time do you guys have? How much business you guys want to do? And then from there, I mean, the key number one in this office, need more volume, need more deals, need more synergy within the office to do more deals. I'd rather do deals with you guys than Weichert agents. Obviously, I think everybody would agree with that. That's something that, if we can do more business together, it only helps us out. It helps the synergy, gets us working together, allows us to also, kind of create this community and make it stronger and keep you guys, making some more money, and that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. And then when you guys are making more money, I also want to go over just different things in life that you guys can look at for investments. So strategy could be, stuff that's outside of this market in New Jersey, So I actually purchased a property in Savannah, Georgia. And that's something where I wasn't expecting to. It just worked out that way. I have a friend that's down there that I could trust. We had a contractor connection down there, and it just worked out. So don't feel like the New Jersey prices, the New Jersey market's actually going to restrict your ability to invest and do things as well. If you're looking to kind of come up with rental properties or get into syndication deals, which are just investing into somebody else's, deal. It could be an apartment building, could be a commercial building. I want to, if you guys are interested in hearing more about that, that's something that we could, highlight and have a guest on to talk about it. And, that's something where, yeah, you're not going to get necessarily a commission on it, but let's just say you have a client and they've tasked you with finding a multifamily home in Ocean County for, I don't know, 750,000, right? How much inventory is out there? There's not much. And even if you could find the inventory, the ROI on stuff like that is not great, and it just comes down to the rent prices are high. The market really is appreciating at such a high rate in New Jersey. It's just absolutely insane. If you look at the rental properties, right now and the prices and what things are actually renting at, it's only going to go up, so that will actually cause, the residential sales prices to be either stagnant or go up as well. So if you have somebody that's looking to invest money, right, and if you can't complete that job, if you can't find them something, it could be a wise decision to maybe connect them with either a financial investor that is in housing or somebody, again, that's doing syndication deals, where they could actually park that money and make something on it. And, again, it's just, what can you do to represent your client and to help your clients? That to me is something where it's like, hey, if I can make a connection for you and it's short term, it allows you to keep your money safe. And then that way, maybe in a year or two, you can pull it out and then we can reinvest it into something else, because maybe you don't have enough money, right? Maybe you only have $100,000 and, to buy a $750,000 investment property or $1 million investment property, you need $250,000. What can you do to help them get from point A to point B? So keep that in mind as well. And I want to bring those opportunities and those teachings together, for you this year as well. Again, only if you want to hear about it. If you don't want to hear about it, then, I'm not going to spend the time, going into it. But again, it's all kind of long-term strategy, guys. And it's really taking a step back, figuring out who your best clients are and focusing on them a little bit more. I know we're all running around, trying to do deals. Obviously a lot of the agents that are out there working with buyers, you're out there showing homes and you're kind of just on the run all the time. And I think what you have to do is maybe even take a step back this year, and prioritize on actually the people that got you here. If you've been in this business for at least 5 years and you're just not seeing either past clients or referrals come in, you need to take a step back and say, what am I doing wrong that I'm not getting either a past client or a referral? Have you lost houses that maybe you sold and they listed with somebody else already? That's something that it's going to naturally happen, once in a while, but the majority of the houses you've sold in the past, they should be listing with you. You should be able to retain them as clients. A lot of that goes into what did you do to get them from, into that house, right? If that experience was great, then why would they go and ask anybody else for any real estate related advice ever between, now and 5 years ago? They shouldn't. You should always be on the forefront. And, the way to do so, obviously, is if you're either following up or you're just very relevant on social media, where they can remember you, dropping emails or newsletters, things like that. It's just really taking the time to structure this as a business where you can retain clients. I think a lot of people in real estate, they just go from client to client to client to client to client. And you look back over the course of the year and you say, well, what did I do to kind of create or structure this as a business? What is the foundation of my day-to-day business? And most agents that haven't been in this business for 5 years really have no foundation. You're just kind of running around and taking orders and, just trying to figure out how to stay busy. And the goal shouldn't be figuring out how to stay busy. The goal is to structure your business in a way, where you can have full control over it, not let the clients necessarily control you. Now, I understand, obviously, if you've got a hot client and you just plan on taking off on a Saturday and they haven't found a house and a brand new listing comes up and you got to get out there, right? I understand that. But if you're continuously showing people homes and that they're not, they're just kind of wasting time. Maybe they're not serious or whatever the case may be. What you need to do is really take a look at your business and say, why don't I have more A buyers? Why am I stuck with all these C buyers? And most people run around all day with the C buyers and forget how to retain A buyers. And it's usually, again, friends, family, past clients, referrals, things like that. That's how you guys are going to be able to kind of get those people that trust you and are actually going to do business with you. Not the people that are strangers that, maybe they just don't even plan on buying this year, but they have no problem. They have nothing else to do on the weekends, right? So they'll go out and look at some houses, and one day they're in, Hazlitt. The next day they're in Toms River. The next day they want to go out to Burlington County. That's something where, if you have good trust or rapport with that client, would you be willing to do it? I think, absolutely. That's what happens with clients sometimes. They are all over the place. But you can't be bogged down with 5 of those people because they'll just ruin your weekends. And that's something that I had to learn, early on, is prioritizing. And, it's just going to help you, figure out if it's an A client, B client, C client. I mean, back in the day in our CRM, we had hot like fire, then we had red button, then we had orange button, then we had, I think, a green, then we had a blue. And you can kind of take people through those stages. And again, if somebody that hasn't gotten, pre-approved and you've actually met them already, that's something, hey, I want to be careful, taking time away from my family or taking time away from building my business up, to go run around, with that kind of client. So with that, I'm going to take a pause here. If anybody has a question, feel free. And if anybody wants to hop on and discuss anything, if you guys have any problems or anything that you're working on, just something you want to discuss about the market, now's the time. Feel free to, to post something in the chat. I don't think anybody is on the StreamYard Direct, so I won't be able to bring you on unless you're on via that way. But let's see. Let me just catch up here. All right, nothing yet. Let's see. Anybody like the way this kind of webinar looks and feels versus Zoom? Does anybody prefer Zoom? Does anybody not know why they're here? Give me some comments. Give me some questions. Is there a way to filter out houses that sold over asking when doing a CMA? Yeah, I mean, I guess that is pretty much just hand selecting when you're actually, checking those comps to go into the feed. So before I put my houses into the CMA, I'll go through and I'll check. I guess the only thing is like on the pendings, you're not going to know obviously the price unless you call the listing agent or the buyer's agent. If you're friendly with the buyer's agent, maybe they'll tell you. But what you can do with your CMAs is I actually, on the pendings, I will make calls sometimes. If something I think is suspect, maybe it looks too low or maybe it looks too high. I want to know what that actual number is going to be. And they don't have to technically tell you, obviously, but most agents will tell you. If they won't, whatever, they suck, I guess. Or they'll be able to give you a range, right? And you could open it up and ask them, hey, did you go over asking? Did you go under asking? And a lot of times you don't have to ask them the exact number, and they'll say, oh no, I sold it for $870. All right, cool. That's something where, as agents, we should be able to share information if it's pending or under contract. So we have a question. So this is cool. So I could feature you guys, and this is why it's going to be cool. When you guys link through StreamYard, I'll be able to see your face and then your name. I could see this is obviously Tommy because I'm also looking at my laptop. But on the website, if you go back to the website, on the top right, maybe I could show you in present mode here. Let's see. Let's go share screen. And let's Let's see, let me find it. Hold on, I'm going through all the different screens before I share. Oh, I'm going to have to open a new window. All good. So Revolution live stream. So that was the link that you guys all got. So if you see this link here on the top right, StreamYard Direct. So that'll actually bring you into the studio. And then you'll obviously have the ability here. You could see you could add your display name, put your name in, and then you'll be able to, if you're at a desktop, obviously you can pick your camera that you want to use, pick your mic that you want to use, and you'll be ready to go. Oh, is this actually showing the right screen? Hold on a second, guys. Let me go back. Oh, I messed up. Hold on. Now I have to find my... Okay, Tom got it. Oh, yeah. So we have Ken Duncan in the house. Ken, can you hear me? So we have the ability now to break. Yeah, I got you, brother. So if you guys are at home, you're on a desktop, we could bring you in. So this is the way we would have an interview and talk to each other, and bring you on stage. How's the market, Ken? How we doing in Brick? How's the start of the year? Nice. Yeah, no, I think this January, so far we're off to a fast start as far as what I'm seeing. I was just saying I can't hear the comments. Are you signed? I have two windows open somehow. All right, guys, this is the first time I'm using this live, so bear with me. So I have a bunch of different windows open. They're saying they couldn't hear your comments. Might be. Is anybody else having an issue here in the comments? Let's see. Can we only hear them if you're on the stream? No, you should be. Ken should be live. Let's see. But for some reason, I have two windows open, so maybe that's an issue on my end. Let's see. Oh, you know what it is? That link actually is not. I figured it out. All right. So the link that was in on that page was actually for a previous live stream. So I guess I have to update that link because that was a test. So that's why I'm opening up another window. All right. I got to shut this one down, Ken. Hold on a second. All right. I figured it out. All right. So we're learning here. So that link that was posted there, that was actually a link that I thought was a stagnant link for StreamYard for what I created, but it was actually a test link. So that's why you guys couldn't hear him. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to figure out how to make a stagnant link. But maybe you guys could hear through my microphone. But what Ken said was that he had taken a couple weeks off for the holidays. I kind of did too. But he was off to a fast start, pretty much right away. So he's busy. I know we've been busy with new construction, been pretty busy with land as well. I had a couple pieces of land that were kind of just sitting for a while that just popped. So I think builders are actually like raring to go. I think they see that with rates coming down and with the drop in new construction, as far as new homes being built, a lot of builders paused because they didn't know what to do because they saw the interest rates go up. So it's two-factor thing, right, for builders. Number one is they're usually borrowing money at a higher rate than me and you would be to buying a house, or what a buyer would be paying to buy a house. So for a buyer, what you're looking at is probably, for a buyer that's a builder, you're probably looking at 1% to 2% higher to actually build. So you're borrowing that money for short term, so it's not a ton of money, but that, number one, is a factor in your cost to build. Number two is obviously when you're done with that build, if you don't know where the rates are going to be, that could actually cause your property to sell for less. So if you started building and started planning, and it's like a year and a half potentially sometimes to actually get something off the ground, even if it's a single lot, if rates were 6.5, and then all of a sudden by the time you're building the house and it's ready, rates are 8, will that actually make the market go down? Everybody knew that rates were going to go up. Builders knew this. So builders kind of hesitated and paused. Land prices really didn't go down. So you had one of two things you could do. You could sit and wait on the sidelines and not do anything, or you could try to acquire some land and sit and wait before you start building. So that way you could time it based upon what's happening in the market. Now that we see that rates are down, the timing for people to start putting in for permits, because usually the time frame to build is like probably 8 to 10 months from the time you acquire it and have everything ready to go. So I think that's what's happening right now, is a lot of builders are now prepping to build for 2024 because they anticipate that with the election coming up and with rates continuing to come down, if the rates get into 5s and 6, we're going to see the prices go back up. So that's one thing. So let's see. We had a comment looking for new ways to generate leads. So many people are on the DNC list or have bad numbers. I recently started sharing RPR reports of past clients to generate potential listings. Yeah, the RPR report is a great tool. That's something you can help kind of generate and automate and maybe have a discussion on. So if you have an RPR report, I would say, just make the caveat that, the numbers might have to be tweaked. It could be 10% off. And that if you need a stronger number for some reason, because you may be looking to sell or maybe looking to refi in the next year, let me actually come out and do an evaluation for you so we could actually make sure that the proper adjustments aren't being made. Let's see. Somebody had a question. Can you give me a name of our commercial department contact person? I guess that would be me. So we have a couple of agents that do commercial in the office. But commercial is really specialty, right? It depends on what it is. Is it business? Is it land? Is it lease? Is it, for sale? So if you have a question, give me a shout and we can connect you with somebody that's in the office to help you out with that. All right. Any other questions here? Yeah, so I'll fix that link for StreamYard. I really do want to get your faces and your names on here. So that way, again, we could actually, do a better job doing deals in-house, making this chat, right here that's live. Like, I don't have a problem with you guys posting stuff in here. If you want to post, hey, got a new listing coming up. Like right now, I'll tell you, I got a new listing coming up, guys. Hold on a second. I will share this now. So Brick, 2 brand new homes, not listed yet, going live in a little bit. I'm going to have to email actually myself the pictures. Just got the pictures back. Let's see. Hold on a second, because I am emailing them from one computer to another. And I don't know what email address I'm sending this to. Hold on a second, guys. Let's see. Remax Revolution Live. All right. Remax Revolution Live at gmail.com. So that is the email address for here. If anybody ever wants to send something here, you probably won't remember, but that's what it is. All right. So yeah, 2 brand new homes, Laurel Avenue. Let me share screen. All right, let's see. All right, let me open this up first so that way I can share the right screen. This is only going to do one at a time. Branded. Copy. All right. One more second, guys. All right. And here we go. All right. So 413 Laurel and 411 Laurel. So two brand new homes. They're pretty much the same. They're very similar to the Madison model that Area Properties builds, which is 3,000 square feet. So it's got a partial walk-up attic that's finished. These also have basements. The key thing with these properties is that the lots are huge. I'm actually getting drone done actually as we speak right now. Tough to tell from the pictures, but this is a 75 by 193 lot, and it goes street to street. So behind here, if you're familiar with Laurel, it's right off of Drum Point, over just north of Cherry Quay. And this lot goes 75 by 193 street to street. So the street behind there's it's very tight. It's like a lane almost. I wouldn't even call it a street. And then here is 413 next door. This lot's even bigger. So this lot is 75 and it goes the full 193. It's right next door. But then it also like makes an L shape across the back, which is the property back here. So 161. So if you have maybe a contractor or somebody that does something where they want to be able to maybe add an additional garage to a new construction house, now I can't promise you because the builder was actually restricted from putting access to the back of this property off the back street. As you can see, this is actually that's the front of the house. Let me see. He was restricted, but that's because he was building new construction. So you can see right back here, this is another street behind the house. So if you had a contractor that maybe wanted to put a large shed, storage, had to park some vehicles, things like that, didn't want them in the front of the house, I believe you'll be able to do something here. So you have a front yard setback on the property there. Let me see. Let me go back. Let me stop the screen share. So you have a front yard setback, obviously, on that street as well. So you'd have to push it back, I think, like 35 feet off the street with any structures. So the price on the 75 by 193, which is a third of an acre, that's $850. And the price on the one that has the extra land behind it, it's the L-shaped lot, that's half an acre. That's going to be $879, which seems crazy in brick if you haven't been paying attention to the new construction market, but that is what I think is a pretty good deal in comparison to everything else that's out there. I've seen 75 by 100s, 80 by 100s, and just normal communities, nothing great, in that same price point. So Laurel Avenue is a little bit busier of a road. It's not too busy though, because most people are going down Drum Point and going to Old Hooper. They're not coming through Laurel unless they live back there. It's not really a great cut through if you're looking to get to Manahawkin. Doesn't really take you anywhere else besides the community. But if you have a new construction buyer, looking in brick, let me know. I can get you in now. Those houses are ready to go too. Both of them are completely 100% finished. Those pictures that I just showed are actual pictures of the house. It is ready to go. So I have drone and video that's going to be coming back in the next day or so, but I think I'm going to be putting it live tomorrow. So if anybody has any questions about that. Also, new construction, I'll go over that a little bit. In Bayville, we've got a couple houses left in there that can be delivered within, I'd say, the next 4 to 6 months. We're going to be closing out that development pretty soon, though. We have another development coming up in Bayville. That's, I believe, 30 lots. And that one, you're probably about a year to 18 months out to deliver on that. That one, they need a lot of dirt. And there's going to be a lot of site work being done on it, but everything's cleared and, the map's pretty much set. And we're just kind of waiting to launch that until, Golden Eagles, which is Sander Way. If you haven't seen Sander Way, pop it up on the MLS, take a look at some of those homes. So Bayville, obviously, that same kind of house, that's a similar house to what Area Properties is building. That house is $799 in Bayville. Same thing, finished walk-up attic, pretty much same square footage. The one we just sold, $799, is a half an acre. Very tough to find, lot wise, size wise. And that's kind of where we're at now. Future pricing, it's not going to go down for new construction. We've got a Lacey project that's coming up, Paradise Point. Those homes are going to be, 850 plus. The homes in there, they're going to have some on the water. No basements in there. You're going to have walk-up finish attics on some of the houses. You're walking distance to a marina. There's a private dock that's going to be there that you can go fish from, or go look at the water. Right along the Cedar Creek. What else we have coming up? So Jackson, we have some homes over on Woodbury. 2 homes there that are pretty close to completion, but we've been struggling. Jackson's very tough. With new construction, just getting permits and inspections and passing and things like that. But we've got a bunch of homes up there. That's Woodbury. What else we got going on? I think that's it. We got a spot lot in Island Heights on Garden. It's 15 Garden Ave. And I think that's it for new construction. But we are looking for more land. If anybody has land, I have other builders that call me that are looking for land like all the time. They see what we do, so if you have anything, that you come across that's like off market, most of the stuff that's on market I've already seen and I've already sent to those clients. But a lot of the stuff that's on market, it's either, overpriced or just not an area that's going to work for my clients. But yeah, if anybody has any other questions, feel free. Other than that, I think we're pretty much good to go. In the interim, during the week, if you guys, again, have feedback, let me know. I'll try to get the link situated for StreamYard so we can kind of bring you guys up. Again, if you guys are willing to come on, to do like an interview, if you have a problem maybe that's going on during the week and you need help resolving it, feel free to reach out to me. Maybe I can help you do that, and then we can tell the story, right here, as far as how we resolved it. And again, we can use this too. We have a new marketing person. We've added a third wheel to the team of Jen and Abby. I don't know if you guys have seen Tyree in the wall office yet, but if not, we've got a new secret weapon, and we are also utilizing AI to help kind of create some more content and some more videos. So it'll be interesting now that you guys have seen this and how this goes and what this looks like live. We'll see what they come up with clips and content to pull out of this video. Maybe we're going to do the same thing with strategy sessions as well, and just create more content. That's something where if you guys, want to start doing things like this, whether it's, just having a conversation with an hour, maybe it's with somebody in the office and you want to get set up here, using StreamYard. If you guys want to live stream, I'm doing this so that I can learn it, and that way, once I learn it, I can teach it. If anybody has, any questions, feel free to pop them in. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap up in another minute here. But thanks for everybody for coming out to the first Monday Zoom. Just wanted to kind of get a feel for how this all works before I, go into bringing in guests and having these full trainings. All right, I think we're good, guys. Thanks for coming in, and have a great week. We'll see you Thursday, for the strategy session, obviously, and get ready to do more deals. Like, wake up. Don't wait until March to start making calls. Start making your calls now, whether it's, again, past clients, just reach back. Actually, make an effort to go through your entire phone and go through it and see. Obviously, you probably have a lot of realtors in your phone. Start sorting people as far as potential buyers, past clients, things like that. And make sure at some time between now and the end of the year, you reach out to everybody that's in your phone book on your phone. You can do that without being on your desktop. You can do that without making it a cold call. I think if we can all start there and, reach out to everybody in your phone. Again, not a realtor, not a mortgage person. I know we have a lot of those people in there. Not necessarily appraiser, but if you want to talk to your appraiser, just check in and see what's going on with the market. I can tell you that, they probably wouldn't be offended. They call me all the time asking for comps and stuff like that, and I'm very helpful. But all right, guys, Make it a great week. Later.